Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Mindset Moment. Jenny Martin coming to you from Wollongong, Australia. It's pretty cold in my home office here, so hopefully you won't hear my teeth chattering. I don't think it's quite as cold as Victoria or New Zealand, so I'm grateful for that. But I do love all the seasons. I try to embrace them, as those of you know. You won't hear me complain about the weather too much. So, today's topic is perfection. It's a trap. So have you ever gone gangbusters for a goal, just gone absolutely nutso and then not achieved it? Well, if you haven't, then you're probably not human, because this is just what happens to us, right? We can't always achieve everything that we set out. But often it's because we actually haven't set realistic expectations and we're trying to do things so perfectly that we bomb out, right? And how do we feel when we fail at things? We can often feel quite hopeless, helpless, feel like a failure, feel ashamed. And quite often then we quit doing the thing that we're trying to do, or it actually prevents us from setting new goals because we start to lose our sense of self-efficacy and we think, well, what's the point? I just fail at things. Now, this happened to me recently. So I had some friends over and I made my house just sparkling clean, so beautiful. Everything was in its place. It just looked like a cover of a magazine, if you don't mind me saying so. And I decided that it looked so good and it made me feel so good that I was going to try to keep my house looking like something out of Home Beautiful every minute of every day. Oh my gosh, what a disaster. I turned into the fun police at home. What is this piece of fluff I see before me? I would say to the twins. So, they nearly divorced me, all of them, because I was just an absolute nightmare. And it just was taking up so much of my time and energy. And I kind of really had to think, okay, what am I trying to do here? Like, what is my goal? And is this actually achievable? And is this actually something I really care about? Probably not. So I've gone back to keeping my home good enough, clean and tidy, and I, tidy it when I can. Hey, Mom. Hey, Sarah. And I just leave it at that. So I'm not striving for perfection in my home anymore. Sorry, Mum. You'll have to listen to the replay to hear what I just said there. So I've realized that keeping my home as it is good enough. It's not going to ever look like the cover of a magazine, except maybe when I have lots of people come over, and that's not very often. So what about you? How does this apply to you in aspects of your life, in terms of perhaps your diet, your jobs, how you show up on social media? Do you have to put a filter with every single photo? Are you trying to get perfectly white teeth? Is your hair never out of place? Do you wear, the most perfect clothes? Do you try to have the perfect children, the perfect relationship? And if you do, how is that working out for you? Because really, perfection doesn't exist. We know that. In fact, I think my kids are being taught that at school. I think I said to one of them the other day, "You're just perfect." And he said, "No one's perfect, Mum." So I thought that's pretty cool. That's filtering down into the school system. So there's a thing called the Nirvana fallacy, and that's obsession with perfection. So that dates back to the 1700s. So this type of stuff has been going on for years, right? And they kind of said that perfect is the enemy of the gods. How incredible is that? That's the Nirvana fallacy. Now, we kind of say things similar to that, like, "Hi, Dan. If I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it at all." How many of you have said that? Give me a wave if you've ever said, "If I can't do it perfectly, I'm not going to do it at all." Now, what an absolute trap that is, right? So how many opportunities in your life have you missed out on because you decided that you were going to do it perfectly and you somehow realized you weren't going to be able to do it perfectly, so you didn't do it at all? That's actually really, really sad and quite worrying. So, in my work in terms of kind of body transformation and health and things like that, this is quite a hot topic, and it's so important to remember that nothing is really worth doing unless we can really consistently do it, especially in terms of our health. There's no point just going absolutely gangbusters for a short period of time if you're not going to be able to really continue that through into your life and create a habit out of it. I'm definitely all for, little challenges here and there, cutting something out here and there. I think it's quite fun, but it's more about what happens for you if somehow you fail at that or somehow you're not able to do that. Everything in life is completely fine. It's more about how we respond to things if they don't work out. So it's like I have people that like to weigh themselves every day. Now that is completely fine if you can cope with the fallout of what the numbers are going to mean each day, because the numbers on the scales are so representative of so much more than just body fat that if you can handle and be aware of all the different reasons why the scales are going to say different things every single day, that's fine. Knock yourself out, weigh yourself every day. But if you're going to get upset by what the scales, the different numbers that are inevitably going to turn up each day, some high, some low, some in between, then don't do it. So it's you can use that formula for anything in life, If you can deal with the consequences of something, then go for it. But if you can't, then maybe it's time to look at a different goal or a different way of achieving that goal. So there was a study that was done in 1978. So when I was a little baby, so it said, or what they found was, so they studied people going for all different types of goals in study and career and health and wellness. And what they found was that people could persist more effectively with going for their goal when confronted with challenging tasks within that, if they view the task as a learning experience, or if they developed some kind of curiosity around the challenge that they were facing, as opposed to viewing the task as an evaluation or a test. So it's really important just to have that sense of curiosity when you're going about your daily life, especially when you're going for some kind of goal, that you can then kind of be curious about and almost take that observer perspective. Okay, I really noticed that today I didn't really stick to my eating plan like I intended to. Okay, so what can I do differently tomorrow, or how can I pivot so that I can, have a better day tomorrow? So it's just having that sense of curiosity, as if, it's somebody else looking in on your life and just, evaluating it for what it really is rather than all the icky emotions that go with it. So yes, shoot for your goals, but if your goals are around perfection, then you might need to refine your goal, like I had to do with keeping the house perfectly. Did I actually want a perfect house? No, I just wanted to feel like I was on top of, the tidiness and the cleanliness. So then what can I do to achieve that? Well, maybe it's actually to get a cleaner. Abe, finally, I think we need a cleaner. Or is it just to do a little bit each day so that it's good enough? Okay. So an example about eating, is your goal to absolutely eat perfectly every single day, or is it to develop some healthy habits that you can, continue throughout your whole life? I'd probably go for the latter. Some questions that you can ask yourself when you feel like you've kind of failed or you've stuffed up in some way and you haven't kind of been perfect is, what can I learn from this? Because chances are you will have this opportunity again. Now, I know there's that term like life is not a dress rehearsal. We only get one chance. Yes, that's true, but we actually get so many chances at so many of the same things, right? Have you ever noticed that? So there's always going to be another chance, more than likely, at that thing that you didn't do so well in. It could be tomorrow, it could be the next week, could be the week after. So make a mental note about what you learnt from it and how you're going to respond differently next time. What am I proud of? Okay, yes, I opened that packet of chips and I had a few of them, but I didn't have the whole damn packet. So you can be proud of that. what parts did I do well? So you've got that example there. Or, if you're beating yourself up about not going to the gym today, well, I went 5 times last week. So that was pretty epic. I can be really proud of myself about that. So the more that you focus on the thing that you haven't done so well, the bigger those feelings and that storm is going to feel. But if you just try to just pivot your focus slightly on the things that you did well or the things you're proud of, then you'll probably feel a whole lot better, and actually your perspective will be a lot more balanced. Another great one is, what would I say to my best friend about this? Like if your best friend came to you and said, oh my gosh, I opened that packet of chips. I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I'm on a no sugar diet, or, no fat diet, whatever it is. Then what would your best friend say to you? Okay, she'd probably say, well, it's all right. Like, come on, like cut yourself a break. It's not the worst thing in the world that can happen. Maybe next time, try this or try that. So that's pretty much it from me. Just a quick one today about perfection and how it's really important to strive for progress, not perfection. Okay. Now there's that great quote that I put in my post from Brené Brown, which says, I am a recovering perfectionist and an aspiring good enoughist. So I just love that. What in your life can you be good enough at compared to perfect? So share with me in your comments, what's the one thing that you're going to focus on being good enough at? I'd love to know. Let's all share. Let's all help each other, come down from this perfectionistic kind of point of view and just start being more real and good enough. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you next Monday. Bye.